Hashtag Verse TV, Duquan White, owner of Transparent Styles. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thumbs up.
Welcome to week 112. Hello, everybody. I'm Aaron Mack, your host for the evening for week 112 on Burst TV's All the Tea. And I am here with my good friend, Duquan White, who's going to give us all the tea. Say hi to everybody, Duquan.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
At your company, Transparent Styles, you provide fashion and imagine consultation to a wide spectrum of clients. You also house a wide variety of fashionable artists. Now,
Yes.
and we will get to all of the tea on all of that right now. First question, though, for our audience who may not yet know, where are you from? And what do you love most about your origin story?
Well, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, for those who don't know. I love about my origin story because I'm just a regular person that just was attracted at a young age about fashion, and it excited me to want to be in the fashion industry.
Okay. And how has that origin influenced your wanting to be in the fashion industry?
Well, in the 90s, I was the 90s inspired me because I was allowed to go to school abroad to experience fashion abroad compared to fashion in the United States as well. And I learned a lot. And when I went to school in London, I learned a lot about just the European fashion designers and the what do you call the now I'm nervous, I'm being interviewed and I can't even think straight. The couture collections and accessories and pieces that they had to offer and they were making, and they were great. And that's what inspired me to want to be a part of that, to do makeup and to have a clientele get ready for shows and to be designer ready.
All right. And we will get into more detail about your clientele in just a moment. But staying along with the origin part of everything, in recent previous generations, where are your family roots?
Well, my great grandmother Bayesian, so I have a little bit of a West Indian origin down the line. So West Indian roots, and yeah.
I wish Troy was here because Troy is actually, if I recall, he is part Bayesian as well. So you'd have a partner there. Very cool. All right. Now, you mentioned that you've been doing it since you were a child, but when did you start creating fashions? And when was your talent first realized by yourself, by anybody?
Well, my talent was first realized when I was the age of 14, when I used to wear midriff cut tops. And my mother was like, you know, boys are not supposed to wear tops like that and stuff. And I did always try to dress it up. And I would wear knee-high socks, and I was just fascinated with things. Then I started trying on my mother's makeup at the age of 15, I know, and it just excited me. A whole look excited me, executing a whole look.
Nice.
So, and that's what made me go and take undergrad studies at LCF.
And just curious, what does that stand for?
Oh, the United, well, LCF, London College of Fashion, but the UAL is part of that corporation.
Okay, very
Yeah.
nice. And they taught you about the application because honestly, like hearing that, I wonder to myself, you know, like kids that don't grow up with the father necessarily as present as they could be, not really knowing how to shave. I question or just am curious, how did you pick up how to do makeup? Because that's even more involved. Like, did you just like learn how to sight apply or like sight sing?
Well, I actually watched my mom. My mom was very much into that. She was a girly girl, and I would watch her get ready in the mornings for work and stuff like that, and apply her foundation and her makeup, and she always looked amazing. And I said to myself, again, she inspired me. And I said to myself, one day I'm going to be in that industry. And I'm glad that my parents allowed me to go to school abroad to be able to see things from a broader spectrum.
Very cool. Especially because the next question was going to be, what inspired you to professionally enter the fashion industry? So it sounds like you're saying your mom inspired you and your parents being open-minded enough to say, hey, this is where you should go to learn more. Although I'm answering your question, so I'll be quiet.
But you started it off correctly. Yes, and they wanted to keep me out of trouble because when I came out, I was like coming out kind of wild. And seeing that I was so fixated on fashion and stuff like that, they allowed me to go to school abroad so I could learn more about that. Even though it took me 2 undergrad courses and 1 graduate course, I finally developed the skills. I actually worked with London Fashion Week 1999 and 2000.
Yes.
So I met a few people that I was working with at the time, and it was really nice. It was really an experience to remember. And especially back in the 90s, you know, the 90s are very much different. In the 90s, it was fashion was just like so iconic. They don't make things the same way they do.
Huh.
Now, Alexander McQueen and, you know, God rest his soul. Johnny Versace. Not Donatella. We're talking about Johnny.
Well, isn't Donatello
Okay.
the wife?
Say that again, please.
Donatello is the wife, right?
No, Donatella is the sister.
Oh.
Yeah, she took over. He left his estate and everything to her, and she took over the brand. But what she's producing now, and what she produced after, like the clothes that she put in production after his death, was not the same. It was not the same kind of execution that he had when I actually was visualizing these shows when he was alive.
Nice.
But you know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the 90s was a very special decade for many reasons, but yes, absolutely. Now, let's get on to this part. You are the owner of Transparent Styles. Now, first question, from where did the choice of that name, Transparent Styles, come?
Well, it came from me being eclectic with my style, being able to want to try different things and be so transparent in it. So that's the name that I chose for my company, Transparent Styles, because we are very transparent in our services and our production.
Nice. Now, you are based in New York, and London, UK with Transparent Style. Now, 2 fashion capitals of the world. Now, please give our Verse TV family a sip of all the tea on the difference between those 2 fashion superpowers?
Well, to tell you the truth, the New York fashion scene is more demanding than the European fashion scene. Europeans are more laid back in their fashion scene than Americans. Americans are very fast forward. They want to try very much like they want to try very much like label fashion as far as um emblems, a lot of showy and flashy things as far as fashion being not that fashion forward. But European fashion is very laid back, it's very casual. But the couture part of the European fashion is that's the one that gets very executed and stuff like that. They have the couture. It's very different from American couture. But as far as the two fashion capitals, they both are the fashion capitals of the world, United Kingdom and the New York, America. But I prefer working with the Europeans because they're less demanding than the Americans. Even though I seem to have more New York clients than European clientele, but I do have a few.
All right now. And that actually is a great segue into the next question. How does the
Well, I can be found at www.transparentstylefashion.org, or I can be found at Transparent Style on Instagram, or Transparent Style Fashion 913 on Facebook, or Duquan White on Facebook.